Hey everyone, welcome to Podcast by MrB. I'm Mr. B and I've got Anna here with me today. Anna, are you ready to talk about the most exciting night of the year?
Absolutely. And Mr. B, I have to tell you, last year at midnight on New Year's Eve, something absolutely crazy happened to me. It involved champagne, a countdown, and a very embarrassing moment.
Oh no, you can't just leave us hanging like that. Everyone, you have to stick around until the end of this episode to hear Anna's embarrassing New Year's story. Trust me, it's worth it.
Yes, it's quite a story. But first, let's help everyone learn how to talk about New Year in English. This is such an important topic because New Year is celebrated almost everywhere in the world.
Exactly. And today we're going to learn all the vocabulary, traditions, and phrases you need to talk about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So, Anna, let's start with the basics. What exactly is New Year?
Well, New Year marks the beginning of a new calendar year. In most countries, we celebrate the transition from December 31st to January 1st. December 31st is called New Year's Eve, and January 1st is called New Year's Day.
Perfect. And here's an important point. We say New Year's Eve with an apostrophe S because it's the eve, or the night before, New Year's Day. Same with New Year's Day. It belongs to the new year.
Right. And when we're talking about the holiday in general, we can just say New Year or the New Year. For example, what are you doing for New Year? Or Happy New Year.
Exactly. Now, the most exciting part of New Year's is probably New Year's Eve. This is when all the big parties and celebrations happen. Anna, what usually happens on New Year's Eve?
Oh, so many things. Most people have parties or gatherings with friends and family. Some people go to big public celebrations in city centers, like Times Square in New York or Trafalgar Square in London.
Yes, those massive public celebrations are incredible. Thousands of people gather together to watch the countdown. And speaking of countdown, that's a really important word. The countdown is when we count backwards from 10 to 0 at midnight. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
I love the countdown. It's so exciting. And the exact moment when the old year ends and the new year begins is called midnight. We say at midnight or when the clock strikes midnight.
Right. And at midnight, something magical happens. Fireworks. Almost every major city has a fireworks display to celebrate the new year. The sky lights up with colorful explosions.
Fireworks are so beautiful. And here's some useful vocabulary. We say fireworks display or fireworks show. You might say, we watched the fireworks display from the rooftop, or the city puts on an amazing fireworks show every year.
Perfect. Now, what about champagne? That's another New Year's tradition, right?
Oh yes, many people drink champagne at midnight to celebrate. It's traditional to have a glass of champagne and make a toast. A toast is when you raise your glass and say something nice or hopeful for the new year.
Right. You might say, let's make a toast, or I'd like to propose a toast to the new year. And then everyone clinks their glasses together and says, cheers, or Happy New Year.
Exactly. And to clink glasses means to gently tap your glass against someone else's glass. It makes a nice clinking sound. You always clink glasses before drinking during a toast.
I love that tradition. Okay, so we've got parties, countdown, midnight, fireworks, champagne, and toasts. What else happens at New Year's?
Well, there's kissing at midnight. In many Western cultures, people kiss someone special at midnight. It's supposed to bring good luck. You might hear people say, "Who are you kissing at midnight?" Or, "I got my midnight kiss."
That's a fun tradition. And here's another one, New Year's resolutions. Anna, can you explain what a resolution is?
Sure. A New Year's resolution is a promise or goal you make to yourself for the new year. It's usually something you want to improve about yourself or your life. Common resolutions are things like lose weight, exercise more, save money, learn a new skill, or spend more time with family.
Right. You make these resolutions on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and then you try to keep them throughout the year. Although, let's be honest, many people break their resolutions by February.
Yes, so true. That's actually a common joke. People say, my New Year's resolution lasted exactly 2 weeks. It's hard to stick to your resolutions.
Definitely, but it's still a nice tradition to think about what you want to improve. Okay, let's talk about some useful phrases. If someone asks, "What are you doing for New Year's?" how would you answer?
You could say, I'm going to a party at my friend's house, or we're staying home and having a quiet celebration, or I'm going downtown to watch the fireworks, or we're having a family dinner.
Perfect. And if you want to ask about someone's plans, you can say, "Do you have any plans for New Year's Eve?" or "What are your New Year's Eve plans?"
Yes, and here's another common question. Did you make any New Year's resolutions? You could say, yes, I want to learn a new language this year, or I'm planning to exercise more regularly, or I haven't decided yet.
Great examples. Now, what about greetings? How do we wish people well for the new year?
The most common is simply Happy New Year. You can say this on New Year's Eve, on New Year's Day, or even during the first week or two of January. It's like saying Merry Christmas, but for New Year.
Right. And you can also say, "I wish you a happy and prosperous new year," or "May the new year bring you joy and success." These are more formal and heartfelt wishes.
Beautiful. And in many cultures, people send New Year's cards or messages to friends and family. You might write things like, wishing you all the best in the new year, or hope this year brings you everything you wish for.
Those are lovely. Okay, now let's talk about some New Year's Eve party vocabulary. Anna, what do people wear to New Year's parties?
Oh, people often dress up. That means wearing fancy or nice clothes. You might hear someone say, it's a dressy party, or the dress code is formal, or even it's black tie, which means very formal, suits and fancy dresses.
Right. And if it's a more casual party, someone might say, "Just come as you are," or "It's casual, no need to dress up." That means you can wear normal, comfortable clothes.
Exactly. And at these parties, there's usually lots of food and drinks. We call it party food or finger food, little snacks you can eat with your hands while standing and talking.
Yes, things like chips and dip, mini sandwiches, cheese platters, and appetizers. And there's often a lot of dancing. You might hear, "Let's dance," or "This is a great song," or "The dance floor is packed."
So fun. And many parties have a theme. You might hear, it's a masquerade party, which means everyone wears masks. Or it's a 1920s themed party, where everyone dresses like the 1920s.
I love themed parties. Okay, now let's talk about what happens after midnight. The party doesn't just end at 12:01, right?
No way. The party continues. People keep celebrating, dancing, and having fun. Many parties go till 2 or 3 in the morning, or even later. Some people party all night until sunrise.
That's true. And on New Year's Day, January 1st, many people are very tired. They might sleep in late, which means they wake up late, maybe in noon or in the afternoon.
Yes, and some people have a hangover, which means they feel sick the next day from drinking too much alcohol. You might hear someone say, I have such a bad hangover, or I'm never drinking again, although they probably will.
That's a common New Year's Day experience. And January 1st is actually a public holiday in most countries, so people don't have to work. They can rest and recover from the party.
Yes, and many people spend New Year's Day watching TV, especially sports. In the US, there are lots of college football games, or people might watch the New Year's Day parade on TV.
Right, the Rose Parade in California is very famous. Okay, now let's talk about some New Year's Eve traditions from different cultures. Anna, what are some interesting traditions?
Oh, there are so many. In Spain, people eat 12 grapes at midnight, one grape for each chime of the clock. It's supposed to bring good luck for each month of the year.
That's so cool. And I've heard that in some cultures, people wear specific colors for good luck, like wearing red underwear for love or yellow for money.
Yes, and in Scotland, they have first footing, which means the first person to enter your home after midnight should bring gifts like coal, salt, or whiskey for good luck.
I love learning about these traditions. And in some Asian cultures, people clean their houses thoroughly before New Year to sweep away bad luck and make room for good luck.
That's beautiful. And many cultures have special New Year's foods. In the southern US, people eat black-eyed peas for good luck. In Japan, they eat special noodles for long life.
Food traditions are my favorite. Speaking of food, let's talk about New Year's Day brunch. Many people have a special meal on January 1st. Anna, what might you eat?
Oh, brunch is great. That's a meal between breakfast and lunch, usually around 11 a.m. or noon. You might have eggs, bacon, pancakes, pastries, fruit, orange juice, and coffee.
Yum! And some families make it a tradition to have a big family brunch on New Year's Day. It's a nice, relaxing way to start the year together.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about useful phrases for talking about the past year and the new year. How do we reflect on the year that just ended?
Great question. You might say, this past year was challenging, or last year was amazing for me, or I learned so much this year, or this year had its ups and downs.
Perfect. And when talking about hopes for the new year, you could say, I hope this year will be better, or I'm looking forward to new opportunities, or this year I want to focus on my health.
Exactly. And here's a nice phrase, out with the old, in with the new. This means you're leaving behind the past and embracing the future. It's very common to hear this at New Year.
I love that phrase. And people often say, New Year, new me, when they're planning to make big changes in their life. Although, as we mentioned, those changes don't always last.
That's so true. Okay, let's practice some conversations. Anna, I'll ask you a question and you answer naturally. Ready?
Ready.
So, Anna, what are your plans for New Year's Eve?
Oh, I'm going to a friend's party. It's at her apartment downtown. She always throws amazing parties with great food and music. What about you?
Sounds fun. I'm actually having a small gathering at my place. Just close friends, good food, and we'll watch the fireworks from my balcony. Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Yes, I want to read more books this year. I'm aiming for 1 book per month. And I also want to exercise at least 3 times a week. What about you?
Those are great goals. I want to learn to cook better and maybe take a cooking class. I'm also planning to travel more this year.
That sounds wonderful. I hope we both stick to our resolutions this time.
Me too. See, everyone, that's how natural conversations about New Year's sound. Just friendly, casual exchanges about plans and hopes.
Exactly. And you know what? It's finally time for my embarrassing New Year's story. Are you ready, Mr. B?
I've been waiting for this. Go ahead, tell us.
Okay, so last year I was at a rooftop party for New Year's Eve. It was beautiful. You could see the whole city skyline. As midnight approached, everyone grabbed their champagne glasses for the countdown.
Sounds perfect so far.
Right. So we're all counting down 10, 9, 8, and I'm holding my champagne glass up high, getting ready for the toast. 7, 6, 5, 4, and suddenly I sneezed. A huge sneeze.
Oh no!
And my champagne glass went flying. It literally flew out of my hand and splashed all over the person next to me. At exactly midnight, everyone was yelling Happy New Year, and this poor guy was dripping in champagne.
Oh my gosh, what did you do?
I was so embarrassed. I kept apologizing, and thankfully he was really nice about it. He just laughed and said, well, that's one way to make a memorable New Year. Now, whenever I see him, he jokes about it.
That's actually a great story. I mean, embarrassing, yes, but at least he had a sense of humor about it.
Definitely. And now I'm extra careful with my champagne glass at midnight. I hold it with both hands.
Good strategy. See, everyone, these are the kinds of stories that make New Year's memorable. Not everything has to be perfect.
Exactly. Life is messy and funny, and that's what makes it interesting.
Absolutely. Okay, everyone, let's do a quick recap of what we learned today. We covered New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, midnight, countdown, fireworks, champagne, toasts, New Year's resolutions, and lots of useful phrases.
We talked about party vocabulary, New Year's traditions from different cultures, and how to have natural conversations about your plans and resolutions.
And we shared some real stories, including Anna's champagne disaster. These personal stories help you remember the vocabulary better.
So true. And remember, New Year's is a great topic for conversation because almost everyone celebrates it in some way. You can always ask people about their plans or their resolutions.
Exactly. All right, everyone, that brings us to the end of today's episode. But before we go, we need your help.
Yes, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button. It really helps us reach more English learners like you.
And we'd love to hear your stories. In the comments, tell us, what's your funniest or most memorable New Year's Eve experience? Share it in English for practice.
Yes, please. We read every single comment and we love hearing from you. It helps build our community.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We post new episodes every week with practical English lessons like this one.
Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We have so many great topics coming up.
From both of us, we want to wish you an amazing new year. May this year bring you joy, success, and lots of English learning progress.
Yes, whether you're watching this before or after New Year, we hope your year is filled with wonderful moments and adventures.
And remember, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Sometimes the best stories come from things going wrong, like Anna's flying champagne glass.
So true. Embrace the messiness of learning and living.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. See you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.